Happy Monday. Today, for current events, there are two topics that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the eviction bans in the 22 states that are still trying to work that due to the COVID-19, as well as I want to talk about a specific state, Buffalo, New York. So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from skip tracing to collecting to management, and I've owned 2 debt collection agencies. For the past 8 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit, and now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go. Don't forget to like and subscribe to help grow this YouTube channel. Every Monday, I want to try and bring to you some current events with regards to the debt and collections world, give you a little bit of information. If there are any topics that you guys want me to speak on, feel free to put them down in the comment section, and I'll definitely answer those questions and bring some of those topics to you on Mondays, okay? So let's start. First, I would like to talk about the eviction bans, right? Understand I am sort of kind of reading some of this information, and then I'll give my opinion, getting this information to you as soon as I possibly can, okay? So the state attorney general in 22 U.S. states Friday urges the U.S. Supreme Court not to end, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the COVID-19 residential eviction. Basically, you have a group of landlords that are coming, that are trying to end this ban because there are, like everything, there are people who actually can't afford to pay their rent and sitting and doing it. But then, as we know, there are people who are taking advantage of this situation, which is causing landlords to lose a lot of money because they're still subject to having to pay that mortgage each month on those properties. But nevertheless, they're trying to come together to evict it, but legislation and state attorneys in 22 different states are trying to uphold that situation. Last week, a group of landlords asked the high courts to issue an order that would effectively end federal government's national ban on residential evictions. The CDC is ordered to set and expire at the end of this month, June 30th. The CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, declined to say this week if the agency will again extend the order, saying discussions are ongoing. So if you are in a residence and you haven't been able to pay, I know that come June 30th, those memorandums are going to come around. I know that it expires and landlords can be able to evict you, but they're possibly seeing about extending it. When they asked, obviously, there were no answers stated, but obviously they have to come to some type of agreement because there have been people living in certain properties for almost a year and a half and haven't made a payment. For those of you who couldn't afford to do it, great. You took advantage of the situation. There are a lot of people who are out there taking advantage of the situation, but in a bad way, and going on trips, buying new cars, doing all that type of stuff with the money and not paying the rent. For those of you who are doing that, that's a total different situation. I'm not here to judge because everyone's situation is different. No one really knows what the truth of the matter is. But at the end, there are people who aren't paying, and then there are people who are still being held liable to actually pay. So that's the situation with regards to that. Okay, so let's talk about Buffalo, New York, and why, for whatever reason, in Buffalo, New York, it's considered like a hub for illegal debt collections. Now, like you guys know, I've been in the debt collection industry for 15 years. I've been an owner for over 7 or 8 years. And through the course of trial and error, like anything else, I remember buying accounts, specifically payday loans. You never wanted them from Buffalo, New York. I bought a portfolio through the chain. So basically, it's not like I went to Buffalo, New York, or I dealt with a seller in Buffalo, New York. These accounts originated from original creditors, but they traveled through Buffalo, New York. Now, everyone in the debt collection industry, especially the debt buyers industry, we stay away from Buffalo, New York. Why is that? Because I remember specifically buying some accounts that I end up losing all my money on because they recycle through Buffalo, New York. And in New York, for these payday loans, a lot of times people are saying they're going to sue you, saying you can go to jail, saying all types of stuff to the consumer. And so about time a legitimate company gets the accounts, if we don't know that is what was said, we get them on the phone, we just start talking regular, and they've had it with anybody with debt collections, typically if it's gone through that area. The reason why is they use a lot of scare tactics, a lot of stuff that just scares consumers. As you guys know, Buffalo, New York, if you don't know, now you know, it's one of those places where just a lot of stuff happens. It puts a bad name on debt collectors in general. Anywhere where somebody's saying that you can go to jail or scaring the consumer so much where they're doing whatever they have to do to borrow money to pay because they're afraid of the repercussions or the fake actions that can possibly happen to you for not paying. Understand and know your rights. If a debt collection agency contacts you, look up the company, make sure they have a license to collect in your state, and make sure that they're following the FDCPA rules that regulate us as debt collection companies. If you can't verify the debt collection agency, I wouldn't deal with the company at all. If the company doesn't want to send you something in writing first, don't deal with them at all. Those are a few red flags. There are a lot more. Just check in your state, look up the rules and regulations with regards to how they can call you and what can actually happen concerning debt so that you are educated. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section regarding credit or debt. I promise you I'll answer those questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, you be great.